Welcome, everyone. Lovely to be with you and to have nothing to do. Because in essence, nothing is happening. When the mind is at rest, tranquil, and peaceful, not arguing with whatever it chooses to argue with. The universe is unfolding as it unfolds images on the screen. You perceive a variety of thoughts, memories, various bodily sensations. But you are this still aware presence, that which we seek so far, seemingly, is our true being, our true nature, is what we already are, what already is. And somehow this understanding pacify the mind, and pacify the body, freeing it from generations of contractions and retained attitudes in the body. So we invite ourselves, body and mind is invited to the freedom. We don't need to wait. We can, in this very moment, let it all go. Why not? Why hold on to anything? Oh, what for? What's this meaningless holding on, which maintains the illusion, this impression of sense of danger. That's something we need. We must attain, or we must become, or we must have in order to be free, in order to be happy. When? To be happy when? To be free when? L- Later? After what? So then maybe we don't need to continue this habitual tendency to seek and resist, to look outwardly, to look somewhere for something. For whom? To free ourselves from past issues and fix the past, secure the future. How troublesome, a momentous task. While all along this effortless presence is available, this ordinary shining awareness, which does not exist in time, which is not subject to events. It's your true self. But somehow, habitually, we refer to ourselves as somebody with problems, with issues, with sense of failure or inadequacy. We drag on the past every step we take. We're carrying, pulling all the cadavers of the past. So much effort, exhausting. Is it possible to, for a moment, simply be this opening, this open listening space, this effortless being, effortless perceiving, effortless knowing, effortless awareing, without anybody at the helm, without a personal doer. There is a freedom in not being somebody, because in not being somebody, you are this that which we all are. It's said in being somebody, in being nobody, you're everybody. In being no one, you're everyone. In being nothing, you're everything. These are not empty words. But somehow we're enamored with being somebody in particular. Our stories, our narratives, our past. We identify with some imaginary character, which we sometimes love and sometimes hate. We don't realize that in this identification, we already have doomed ourselves. We've limited and contracted ourselves to suffer, to experience the sense of limitation, the sense of lack, worries and concerns, fear of death, hopes for the future. So we build this shell, this cocoon around us, separating ourselves from the totality, separating ourselves from the light of being, from joy, from freedom, from causeless peace and happiness. And we engage in struggling how to break through this cocoon which we are weaving it and struggling against it. These two go hand in hand. We hold on to the me entity, to the me narrative, and at the same time we seek freedom from it. Do, do you see this? And so we want freedom and happiness for me, the cocoon that we're weaving. So we're encapsulated in this impression that we exist in time and we seek eternity. We seek eternity as a character in time. This is a contradiction. You cannot have it both. So why wait? Why wait? Can we die right now? Just die to all those notions, narratives, beliefs, structures, ideologies, ideas we have. We hold on to, we identify with, we defend. Sometimes it may seem to be scary. But again, scary for whom? You see, we hold on to a structure, to a personal self, meaning to fear, because it's not possible to believe in a personal self without the experience of fear, worry, and concern. It's not possible. Whenever you experience fear, and I'm not talking about a bear chasing you, whenever you experience fear, you're holding on to the me. You are maintaining the me, a sense of personal limitation, that I'm a limited consciousness. But what is it when we're not holding on to any notion? This freedom, this open, effortless being, not knowing, this effortless awareness. Sometimes we were waiting for a savior. Maybe the guru will say something. Maybe God will appear and save me, help me. We wait. We maintain the me waiting, living the burden, hoping for something in the future. Somebody will come to save me. There'll be somehow a saving grace. But the saving grace is already there. You are that. You are this invisible, transparent, aware presence. That's God's message delivered. Not to be delivered, delivered. And then you say, yes, yes, but, 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 but what? Are you something, some object that you perceive? Are you a set of feelings and sensations that you strongly identify with, or are you that which is holding on to stuff? You already are that freedom, playing the game of limitation. You're already saved, waiting for a savior. As a way of speaking, because there is nobody to save and no savior. It's all done. It's a done deal. All is well in God's kingdom, and there is no other kingdom. The human kingdom is your imagination, God's imagination. There is no personal imagination. Everything which appears to you from beyond, not from personal doer, subject. And yet, here we are, enjoying this gathering, enjoying the peace, enjoying being, enjoying whatever's appearing on the screen. Who and what is the enjoyer? It is that enjoyer which enjoys the game of ignorance. Oh, yeah. What happened to me? What happened to me in the past? Why they did this to me? Poor me. How can I be free from blah, 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 dot, dot, dot? Sound bites, sound bites, sound bites. Spinning, spinning, spinning. We love it. Come on. Fess it up. Fess up. You love it. Your story, your narrative, the gossip about the neighbors, about your friends, about self-aggrandizement, identification with the tribe, the family, playing the game of being mad, being upset, playing the game of being a victim. Oh, that's a good one. Being the judge, the one that knows it all. All these different personas, these different facets. The complaining. Oh, yeah, the complaining. I've been at it for so long and I don't get it. I get it, but I get it, but, but. Mhm. Games. You are not images that appear on the screen. You are the screen and you are the artists, the artist that's creating all these images, composing the screen that is composing images. You are that. Recognize yourself as the screen. In this moment, the invisible, formless, aware presence. So many words to point to that which is beyond language, beyond mind, beyond words, that which is and has never not been and can not be. Don't play the dangerous game of being somebody until you grow up. Grow up first. And then you may not be interested in playing that game, the personal me game. We shall see. But we always start and end right now, right here in this moment. It's always this moment. This moment of discernment, where we can discern between the me game, the personal me game, and none of it. It was the peace that you seek. Is not the me game. It is none of it. The full stop, in total stillness, the core of being, the eye of the storm, but there is no storm. So, any questions?
Hi, Magdi.
Hello, Floyd.
Yeah, as you were, I don't know whether you call it meditation or you call it something else, but as you were speaking, uh, no, while you were saying that I should sort of be in the present or come to the now, but I think the pointing was towards coming to the now. But still, I could remember patterns, where I cannot be in the now. And there were patterns like, one pattern coming to my mind was, okay, now you're at home. So, you are not at ease. So now you need to travel, you need to do something. And then, of course, when I travel, when I get exhausted for some time, again, I come back home. And there is this pattern, but somehow, I don't know if it's the mind, but there is a wish or there is a longing that no matter what happens, there should be some kind of, this restlessness should not come
Mm.
when I'm when I find myself in a situation which my mind does not prefer or does not like.
Yeah, you are never in a situation. Situations appear to you.
Mm.
You are not at home. You are not at home or in India. The home is appearing to you. India
Mm.
appears to you. Situations appear to you. So you are not a subject. You're not, the body is in the room, yes? The body named Floyd is in the room, sitting on a chair, sitting on the couch, whatever. But is consciousness in the room, or is the room appearing in consciousness? The room appears in consciousness. And what are you? Are you the body that's in the room? No. The body appears to you. You perceive the body. You perceive the body by looking in the mirror, or you perceive the body by looking at your hand. You perceive your body as an image. You perceive your body as sensation, the sensation of your feet on the ground, the sensation of hunger. So if you perceive the body, then you are the perceiving aspect. You are not the body that is being perceived. You are the perceiving aspect. So is the perceiving aspect in the room, in the body? Is the perceiving aspect in the chair? Sitting in the chair, on the chair? No. The perceiving aspect is formless, right? And that perceiving aspect, that awareness, who is it that is aware? Is it the body that is aware? Is it your arm that is aware? Is it your heart that is aware? Is it your brain that is aware? No. It is I that is aware. I. Before you say I, the body, or I, the brain, or I, Floyd, or I, blah, blah, I am aware. Meaning awareness is and I are one and the same. Another word, another name for awareness is I. The name of the body is Floyd. The name of the village is, I know, Kathmandu, whatever. But I has no name. So that which has no name is the only I. And what problems does this I have? When rainy weather appears, when sunny weather appears, Does anything happen to I? No, nothing happens to I. But when rainy weather appears and I decides, oh my God, this is really awful. I hate it. Then I is playing the game of hating, of disliking, of resisting. So yes, I is complete freedom. In essence, I is untouched by world, body, mind events. But I can play the game of, oh my God, how awful it is. You know, I keep having these thoughts about, strawberry ice cream, whatever. And I hate it. I don't have strawberry ice cream. They don't sell strawberry ice cream in my village or in my city or in my town. I'm suffering. I'm miserable. Ignorance is a choice that consciousness makes. You make, that I make. So why are you complaining about your freedom? Complain to yourself. If you choose to complain, to whom are you going to complain? Because you are choosing to complain. If you're choosing to believe yourself to be a separate entity, to be a body mind, to be a mortal entity, it's a choice you're making. You need to come to clarity that you are not something you perceive. No matter how hard or how strong you believe that you are a person living in India, that does not make you a person living in India. There is a body mind named Floyd living in India. Why do you believe that you are that? While you are the awareness of that. Your freedom is never, never compromised. You play the game of resistance and seeking. You play the game of being somebody existing in time who is gonna lose something and that they've worked so hard for, and all these mind stuff. It's the freedom of consciousness, your freedom to engage in these sorts of thoughts, believe them, create them, believe them, buy into them, maintain them, and repeat them, flip them over and flipping over again and flip them over again. What is the problem? Tell me, what's the problem? It's only the problem you want to create and want to believe in. You want to manufacture. We are a problem manufacturer. That's our freedom. It's the freedom of consciousness. But then there is understanding. There is understanding that, why do I play a bitter game? An unhappy dream game. How about I play a different game? All is well. Tranquilo. All is well. I am that. I am not this or that. I am that. All is that. I am that transparency of being, the light of being, the light of awareness, always on, always shining. And then we go back to, oh, I am this, I am that, and this is a problem, that's this, that's. And then we return to, no, I am the light of awareness. And then go, oh yes, but I have this and that problem, and last year, and I don't know, it was better over there, and you see, in the game of victimhood, the game of being a subject, a limited subject. It's nothing limited about awareness. To stop being Floyd. And be your true self. Floyd is an instrument available to you for a variety of usage. So we can have this conversation between Floyd and Magdi. But these are just instruments. The actual conversation is consciousness to consciousness. Being to being, one being. So this is conversation in the dream. One could say that being has no conversations, or being has all conversations. So what is your real question?
Yeah, so as you said, they're looking for some guru to come and, change, say something, or maybe a soulmate or something to come. So for a while, sort of, I don't know if it's natural, but uh, sometimes I'm able to sort of, I'm not sure if I'm suppressing it or naturally there is no urge for maybe the idea of, looking at it in terms of time and analyzing it itself is faulty. But still, this it comes, it sort of uh, bothers.
Okay, if you use time, then use it wisely. Use your time to contemplate truth. Use your time to live dharmically. Use your time to engage in activities that are uh, peaceful for the welfare of everybody, including the Floyd body mind. And contemplate. Use your time to contemplate and reflect upon the truth, upon reality. Rather than waiting, use your time. Use it. It's given to you, so use it. And whenever an understanding will come to you, it will come to you in the moment. You're open for it. You're not waiting for it. You're waiting without waiting, like Jean Klein used to say, waiting without waiting. So you're open, but you're using your time the best way you know how.
Yeah. In a way, somehow there is a uh, seeing everything as a means to something, because I met a mistake in Tiruvannamalai and he said, drop the seeking. Don't make anything about some kind of goal, like whether it is work or whether it is spiritual stuff. Don't make it that, there's some goal. Drop the seeking. That's the line he gave me.
Mm.
But then I made that also into a sort of strategy, that okay, now I'll drop the seeking. So then let's see what happens. So still there was a sort of seeking behind that.
You drop the seeking as a personal self,
Yeah.
then it serves no purpose, Uh, so the contemplation, using your time to contemplate what is the reality of your experience. I don't care if we call it seeking or not seeking or anything like that. We are interested in truth, so we explore, our beliefs. We study our beliefs, and the beliefs that are valid after a serious exploration. They're no longer beliefs; they're facts. But the beliefs that we explore, that seriously explore, that reveal themselves to be just beliefs, then we let them go because we have explored them and we don't see any facts to support them. So we drop them. So explore our beliefs. Our core belief is that I am this limited personal self. So you need to explore that belief. I don't care if you call it seeking or not seeking, or dropping the seeking, or continuing the seeking, or increasing the seeking, or decreasing the seeking. Just who cares? What evidence is there that I am this limited personal entity? What is this personal limited entity that I believe myself to be? What is it? Where is it? What is it made? What is it made of? So you look at your experience. You experience there is awareness, consciousness, awareness. I'm aware, and then there is form, thoughts, perceptions, sensations. They're, they're both this part of your experience, and you ask yourself, which one is it? If I have to choose between one and the other, which one am I? Which one is true or real? Whatever. It's your contemplation, not mine. You ask yourself the questions that are meaningful to you, not to me. So then, what is it that is what I can place my money on? Which one I can bank in? Is it the images and the thoughts and the perceptions and the memories and the beliefs that appear to me, or is it this awareness, the light of awareness, this consciousness? That's your question. And then you will find that there is that which doesn't appear or disappear, doesn't come and go. It's the constant, the invisible presence, the invisible awareness. And then there are images on the screen. So these images on the screen are dime a dozen. They're so impermanent, one after the other, depending on circumstances, depending on the weather, depending on gravitational field. Where are you? Is awareness, consciousness limited? And you can ask yourself this question. I don't care if you call it seeking, drop the seeking, don't drop the seeking. All that is speaking to a personal self. We don't want to become a better personal self, a non-seeking personal self, or a seeking personal self. It's the same stuff. Let me not call it rubbish or nonsense. All right? So investigate your beliefs rather than following somebody that's jumping off the cliff. Oh, we are non-seekers, let's jump off the cliff. Don't just do your own investigation. Stand on your own ground. Make your own way. Find your way based on your experience. I encourage you based on your experience, not based on hearsay or on beliefs or how you're being impressed. No. What is it in my experience that cannot not be? What is it that is I, something which appears and disappears? Ask yourself, challenge yourself. Take a look. Yes?
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Hello, George. Yes. Hi, George.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi there, Magdi. You've sort of just answered the question I was about to ask, but I'd like some more detail. You talked about contemplating and reflecting, and I was going to ask you, well, how do we do that? And then you sort of said to explore, I am this limited personal entity. Well, if I look at that statement, I am this limited personal entity, I can see that that statement is false. But I can't, in other words, I can't really embody that. There's somehow a disconnect between, the idea, yes, I'm on this limited personal entity. No, I'm not. I look to find this entity. I can't find him. I mean, I've already done all that, but I'm still behaving and acting as if I am this limited personal entity.
You cannot act as your a limited personal entity without believing it. You say, I don't believe it, and yet I'm acting as it. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't jive.
Okay, well, thank you. Let me be more specific. Like I am concerned about, I'm concerned about the future. I don't worry excessively, but I do a little bit of worrying about the future. Oh, when you were talking earlier, all the time that you were talking, I was listening to you some of the time, but I was listening to me some of the time. That is, my thoughts kept on intervening, and sometimes I got carried away from them by them. So I'm giving you some examples of how I'm not, I'm giving you some examples of how I'm behaving as if I am a limited personal entity.
Okay, well, the second example you gave me, that when you're listening to me speaking, you're also listening to your own thoughts, and sometimes you follow your own thoughts, and you say this is an example of me being a personal entity. I do not see that as being an example of being a separate entity. I see that as just an example of being interested in your personal thoughts. What's the problem with that?
Well, the problem with that is when I'm listening to you, I really want to listen to you.
Well, not really, because if you really want to listen to me, you know, 20, with that interruption, you would. You would, but you find some seduction. There is some seduction in some thoughts that appear to you, and so you're seduced by these thoughts. And what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with being seduced by the perfume of a rose, or by the view, or by a thought that appears to you. That does not mean that you are behaving. Like I said, I'm behaving as I'm a separate entity. No, behaving as I'm a separate entity is believing that there is a personal chooser.
Okay, now with regard to a personal chooser, I really looked into this question. I really investigated it. And there is no, I don't know how to say this. As I investigated, there's no personal chooser. I could give you a whole bunch of examples of how I found that. And I could try to convince you that there's no personal chooser.
I'm on board with you. I'm on board with you.
Okay, but my point though is I still think I'm a personal chooser. That's, even though I somehow know better, that's part of my point. But with regard to the limited personal entity, I don't have the. I still worry. I still contemplate the past.
Yes, you did mention that, and I think there is a proper place for concern, to be concerned about the future, about your family, your health, your finances. These are proper concerns that can be addressed, rather than remaining concerns that can be addressed. The challenge is how to address them. Then every situation is different. You address them the best way you can, and and without regret. You may have addressed them maybe incorrectly, but at the time you felt you were addressing them correctly, and later on you realize, oh, I should have made this other decision. And okay, then you see, can I make some changes? So there are some concerns that are part of the human dynamic. These concerns do not refer to or do not point to a belief in being a separate entity. There are proper concerns for the personal body-mind. There is your body-mind is not Magdi's body-mind. And your circumstances of the body-mind named George, the family of George, all the George situations. So there is an appropriate place for that.
Okay, so are you asserting that my statement that I act like a personal, I act like a personal entity, are you asserting that statement is false?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's valuable. That's valuable because obviously I think that statement is true. I wouldn't have made it. Okay, that's valuable. I got to really look into that.
Yes.
Okay, I shall look into that. That is, what is my evidence for that statement? I gave you some and you showed me that that's not real evidence. Okay, I've got something to do now. Okay, very good. Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? Hello, Diane.
I want to ask about when we talk about awareness.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
When we talk about awareness.
Oh, yes.
Right. My way of looking at this is that God or universal consciousness or whatever is like looking through my eyes. I am like a vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah. And so the senses, the various senses that I have,
the senses belong to the body.
Are part of this vehicle.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I die,
the body dies.
Is there any awareness that, I mean, obviously not Diane, but is there any awareness that the I with a capital I or the self with a capital S would be in any sense aware of through whatever I am after death? Do you understand? It's very difficult to...
Yeah, maybe let me see if I understood your question. As the body-mind is alive, there is a certain field of perception via this body-mind vehicle. And the question is, as the body dies, is there like a different perceptual field, because, you know, in the of the vehicle. Is that the question?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, what does it mean? What does awareness mean after I've gone? I mean,
After the body is gone.
yes.
So now that the body is the body the is not gone, there are perceptions, sensations. For example, there is this conversation. There are perceptions of colors, sensations, thoughts, etc. Right? So that's the waking dream, what I call the waking dream. This is where the body is somehow still part of the structure, and the world body mind structure. You need to understand that awareness or consciousness is the invisible field, not the field that is bound by the senses. It's a field that can use the senses, the body mind senses, but it's an invisible field. It's a formless field that has no physical location, no phenomenal attributes. It doesn't have any viscosities, any size, any gender. It's a noumenal field, a non-phenomenal field. And that non-phenomenal field is what we refer to as being or reality. So in our language, you say it's being or reality. Being and reality refer to freedom, because there's only one being, one reality, non-opposed, without any opposition, which means it's complete freedom. Complete freedom. The freedom means the freedom, limitless freedom, the freedom to create and perceive this experience, which we're having right now, which we refer to as the human experience or the waking dream, as well as infinite other possibilities. Now, your question is, in the absence of this human experience, are there other experiences? And the answer is absolutely yes. Infinite possibilities means infinite possibilities, beyond how far you can imagine infinite, beyond that, infinite possibilities. And this realm that we're perceiving right now, this experience that you're perceiving right now, is, imagine a rainbow. And a rainbow is made out of infinite colors. Imagine you just slice one teeny tiny slice with a razor thin blade, one slice of that infinite field of colors. The human experience is just this one teeny tiny slice. Teeny tiny slice. And this experience is the experience that consciousness is having. There is no human experience. It is consciousness that is playing the game or manifesting itself and perceiving, creating and perceiving and sensing and experiencing its creation as this one sliver is the human experience. But there are infinite others simultaneously going. Why do I say simultaneously? Because consciousness is not bound by time. It is that which is not bound by time. Therefore, there is no time in the realm of consciousness. The realm of time only exists in the human mind in terms of this sliver, this teeny tiny sliver of the rainbow is the experience of time. But if you go from this sliver into the field, then you go into the eternity. You go beyond time. You go into the warped, timeless realm. So it's a beautiful journey. This journey right now has its beauty, and there's no beginning and ending to the creative aspect of consciousness, what we refer to the Shakti aspect of consciousness, the creative aspect.
So what we have to say is actually it is unknowable, really.
Unknowable by the human mind.
Yes. So
The human
there's no.
the human mind is a p, just a p, as compared to the universe.
Mm.
Of course, the human mind is extremely limited. But what is really beautiful about this sliver, this slice in the rainbow, is that there is the contemplation that within this sliver, this particular sliver, we have available to us the contemplation of the source, the contemplation of consciousness, and the understanding about consciousness. And the sort of shift from fear to the fearlessness, the shift from the uncertainty to the absolute freedom, absolute certainty. That potential is the spice of the human experience. It's what gives the human experience the taste. The potential of understanding.
Yeah,
all personal concerns are empty. They dissolve in being. In your deep sleep, the deepest of your deep sleeps, there is no concern. But using it as a metaphor, sooner or later, we step through the mirror and realize the no concern, the fearlessness of being, which is yours too, to realize, to celebrate, to enjoy. By the way, I love the background in you have this beautiful background there.
Got a whole list of them. So I just enjoy, picking them out, and I just enjoy playing with that, really.
It's lovely.
Yeah. I think just to stay in that awareness that you describe more permanently,
Yeah. So just to, as often as it's possible for you and it's available for you and it's interesting for you, to notice awareness. Awareness is noticing itself. Notice there is something which is perceived, and there is the perceiving aspect. The perceiving aspect is invisible to the senses. The eye cannot see itself, right? The eye cannot see itself. So just to notice that knowing field, that perceiving field, and then to notice that this perceiving field is not made out of any matter. It's non-phenomenal. It's noumenal. It's formless. It's edgeless. It has no gender. And to allow that noticing to carry you wherever it carries you.
Like allowing an openness to be there, isn't it? An openness.
Yes.
Allowing an openness.
Yes, it is openness, because the field is always open, you see. When you go into the form, there is this form, it's limited, there is that form, there is this one, you go that direction. But when you go in the other direction, you go in the direction of the perceiving field, yes, you come to the formless, to the edgeless, the openness, complete openness. And then you can invite your body, whichever way you experience your body, to also be open. So you open your mind, you can open your body. So you go to the openness, and then you invite the openness forward into your body, into your mind. So you listen openly, you move, not as a limited self, as this open field. So when you move, the whole field is moving. The ocean is moving. When you move, the universe is moving. When you talk, the universe is talking. When you're perceiving, the universe is perceiving. So always in the openness, it's always open, right? So then you invite the openness into your life, quote unquote, your life. And when certain contractions appear, certain reactions, certain fears, certain worries, you also invite them to the openness. You don't try to struggle with them, to put them in a box, to hammer them. No, you just say, okay, because it's all open.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions? So no questions. Okay. Lovely to be with you all. Thank you. Be well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Magdi.